Foster has never been found. Jaylin Brazier claims she suddenly died while they smoked pot, and he panicked and threw her in a dumpster. But prosecutors say their cell phones tell a different story.
Tragedy struck when Jaylin Foster, a vibrant 17-year-old, vanished into thin air after a night with her cousin, Jaylin Brazier. What began as a search for a missing teenager quickly unraveled into a heart-wrenching tale of betrayal and justice denied. The heartbreaking disappearance of Jaylin Foster. Jaylin Foster, a spry 17-year-old girl, went missing on January 4, 2022, after last being seen with her cousin, Jaylin Brazier. What began as a desperate search for a missing teenager turned into a harrowing tale of family betrayal and legal scrutiny. Jaylin Foster was a lively and caring girl from East Point, Michigan. She was a high school student with a bright future ahead, described by her friends and family as kind and full of life. On January 4, 2022, Jaylin left her home but never returned, which was very unusual for her since she always kept in touch with her family. When Jaylin didn't come back, her mother, Sierra Milton, quickly reported her missing to the East Point Police Department. The family was worried because Jaylin had never gone missing before. This started a frantic search to find her. The police began investigating where Jaylin was last seen and discovered that she had been with her cousin Jaylin on the night she disappeared. Police searched Jaylin's house and questioned him.
Gas, just basically showing this girl was never in my house. So we believe you, man. And she's known to be a runaway. Like she's ran like 4 times, and every time she got some dude's house. Her mom knows this. Her mom's just playing it a certain way, and it's making me so fucking uncomfortable.
She's known to be a runaway?
Jaylin, who was then 23 years old, initially claimed that Jaylin was known to be a runaway and had likely gone to a boyfriend's house, dismissing the family's concerns. However, Jaylin later stated that he had spent time with Jaylin and then dropped her off near her home. Jaylin's family felt uneasy about his story and continued to push for more information. The search for Jaylin became more intense as days passed. The East Point Police Department worked with the FBI to find her. They searched neighborhoods, checked surveillance cameras, and followed many tips from the public. The community helped by organizing search parties and handing out flyers, hoping to find any clues about Jaylin's whereabouts. On January 24, 2022, nearly 3 weeks after Jaylin went missing, Jaylin was questioned again by the police. This time, he admitted that Jaylin had died while they were together. Jaylin claimed that Jaylin had accidentally overdosed on an illicit substance. He explained that while they were hanging out, Jaylin suddenly became unresponsive. Instead of calling for help, he panicked and put her body in a dumpster. Jaylin's confession changed the investigation from a case of a missing person to a criminal case. After Jaylin's confession, the police searched many dumpsters and landfill sites, hoping to find Jaylin's body. They worked quickly and faced tough winter conditions in Michigan. Despite their hard work, they couldn't find her remains. This was very painful for Jaylin's family, who couldn't get the closure they needed without finding her body. The community held vigils to honor Jaylin and encouraged anyone with more information to come forward. The family's pain was evident, and the lack of a body made their grief even harder to bear. Jaylin was arrested and charged with tampering with evidence and lying to the police during a violent crime investigation. People were outraged by his actions, especially since he didn't seek help for Jaylin. During his trial, Jaylin said he acted out of fear and panic.
The most logical and possible one, right? Is that there's nothing major or new, and due to that, there's a last effort to put together any types of anything.
Not out of malice. However, his lies and actions made things worse. Detective Sarah Merrill from the Detroit Police Department testified that she extracted evidence from several cell phones belonging to Jaylin, but notably not from the phone he had on the night Jaylin Foster died. She stated that this specific phone's data and messages had been wiped clean just 2 days after Foster's death. A factory reset requires a few different steps from the person who is resetting the phone. making it unlikely to be accidental. Despite this, data from Jaylin's phone after Foster's death was successfully retrieved and analyzed. The data included Google searches such as "What happens to your body if you drink peroxide?", "How to tell if you're being watched by police?", and "How much morphine can kill you?". Jaylin admitted to deleting messages and wiping his phone clean. His actions and confessions painted a picture of panic and poor judgment, but they also raised suspicions about his true intentions and involvement. During the trial, it was hard for the judge to believe Jaylin's claims. The judge questioned Jaylin's decisions and actions, particularly why he chose to dispose of Zion's body instead of seeking help. Jaylin maintained that he was terrified and not in the right state of mind, but his explanations did little to alleviate the doubts and anger surrounding the case. The tragic story of Zion Foster's disappearance and death remains a painful chapter for her family and the community. The lack of closure continues to haunt those who loved her, and the legal proceedings against Jaylin Brazier have left many unanswered questions about what truly happened on that fateful night. Tragedy and justice. I sat there for what felt like an eternity, unsure of what to do next. The first thought that came to mind was the sheer shock of the situation. Having someone pass away unexpectedly in front of me. Panic set in, and I reacted out of fear without fully understanding what had happened or why. I felt paralyzed, not knowing whom to call or what steps to take. Upstairs, our new home awaited, a symbol of our recent struggles, now overshadowed by this tragedy. Zion's mother later expressed her deep anguish in court, recounting how her children looked up to Zion, planning milestones like prom and graduation that will now never happen. She trusted Jayan when Zion asked to go out, believing he would be responsible. Instead, she found herself dealing with the aftermath of her daughter's disappearance, navigating scams and false leads, while hoping against hope for Zion's safe return. The prosecution painted a damning picture, suggesting more than panic had driven Jayan's actions in the days following Zion's death. Despite the court's decision to sentence him to prison, the family's pain persisted. They continue to search for closure, hoping one day to find Zion's remains and fully understand what happened that tragic night. This tragedy has left wounds that may never heal, a stark reminder of the irreversible consequences of one moment's actions. Justice served. The court proceedings revealed a tragic story of betrayal and loss. Jaden, by his admission, manipulated his younger cousin Zion, exploiting her trust to create a disturbingly intimate relationship. As the prosecution presented evidence, it became clear that Jayan's actions went far beyond a momentary panic after Zion's death. He callously disposed of her body, then proceeded to deceive her family and law enforcement, prolonging their agony with false hopes and lies. During the trial, new information about Zion's medical history, including seizures and depression, emerged. This information could have altered the medical examiner's initial conclusions. Despite Jayan's denials and attempts to deflect blame, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. In sentencing, the judge exceeded the guidelines, recognizing the severity of Jayan's crimes. He was sentenced to 38 to 90 years in prison for murder and an additional 5 to 10 years for evidence tampering. The judge's decision reflected a recognition of the profound impact on Zion's family and community. Throughout this ordeal, Zion's family found solace in community support, holding vigils and memorials to honor her memory. Despite their grief, they expressed gratitude to those who stood by them and spoke out for justice. This case stands as a reminder of the devastating consequences of betrayal and the enduring strength of those who seek justice for their loved ones.
Detectives are constitutionally doing everything they can to talk to him, investigate him.
Someone's life is gone. Things are forever changed, and you just get to go back.
Outro. As the trial concluded, the echoes of Zion Foster's tragic fate reverberated through the courtroom. Jaylin Brazier's actions shattered the lives of those who loved Zion, leaving a void that no verdict could fill. Despite the anguish of not finding Zion's remains, her family found strength in community support, gathering in solemn vigils to remember her spirit and demand justice. The prosecution's case painted a vivid picture of betrayal and deceit, revealing Jaylin's callous disregard for Zion's life and the truth. His sentencing, while a step towards accountability, cannot erase the pain inflicted on Zion's loved ones. Throughout the trial, questions lingered about what truly transpired that fateful night and why Jaylin chose to hide the truth.
And I wish I could take it back. I would have called the ambulance, called her mom, because her mom's so sweet. Her mom is so sweet. And I just know. I wish I could take it back. Nobody'd be in the situation. At the very least, they'd be able to be like, okay, this happened, confirm this.
Yet, amidst the darkness, Zion's memory shines brightly as a symbol of resilience and the enduring quest for justice. The community's unwavering solidarity underscored their commitment to remembering Zion's vibrant life and seeking closure. As the courtroom doors closed, Zion's family vowed to keep her memory alive, honoring her legacy with each step towards healing and the hope that her story will inspire meaningful change.